Good evening. How's everyone doing? This is Debunking Conspiracy Theories, Episode 2. Is the moon fake? Look up in the sky right now. Do you see the moon? I don't know if it's morning time or at night, but next time it's at nighttime, look up at the sky, look at the moon. Think to yourself, can we really visit up there? Could we really go up there and walk on there? Has somebody really been there? Is the moon hollow? Can it be landed on? Is the moon fake? That's what we're gonna try to debunk today. I look up at the sky every night and starting to become fascinated with the moon and I can't lie, man. It's I be thinking to myself, can you really has somebody been up there on the moon, or is it? But when you think about that, you got to think about if nobody has been up there, is it all a scam? That's when I go back to the scam. Is NASA one of the biggest scams? We will also look into that today. I've been to NASA. Seems very legit. You know what I'm saying? I had a very nice time, but just think, what if it's all a scam? What if NASA making millions and millions of dollars off of fake pictures of the moon, the Earth, satellite pictures? But they tell you they've been there. If they've been to the moon, why they haven't been back in all these years? Why isn't it a recovering thing? And can you have enough gas to even make it up there? That's a lot of gas. I be thinking about shit like this. Like, you got to have a special kind of rocket too, because once you leave the Earth and you hit the Earth's core, that your whole rocket been and blew up. Too much pressure. You ain't got a rocket like that. I don't think. I don't know. I'm starting to think it won't work. Like you ain't got a rocket strong enough to leave the Earth's atmosphere like that. As soon as it been and hit that core, it been and burnt up, or it been in, got in space and it been and froze up. It been and turned into a block of ice. It's so cold up there and it's traveling so fast, right? I mean, I don't know. I be thinking about stuff like that. Let me take pictures. I don't know if you ever did this, but the other night I looked up. We'll take a look at that also in a minute. But I had looked up pictures of the moon through the most clear, most high tech scopes, and it looks nice. You know, lie, it looks nice. The moon looks that motherfucker look real. I ain't gonna lie, it look real as hell. Looking at it through a telescope, the most clearest, pure that like I don't know 500 times zoom in. Yeah, you could see the moon, and that motherfucker look like you could walk on it too. Check this out. Mm, I don't know. It looked like you could walk on that motherfucker. It looked like you could walk on that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna look up some more videos and they all say the same thing. And you know what? The pictures of NASA, they look exactly the same as this. Going back to that is NASA, it's the same pictures. To where if you was zooming in with a scope like this, their pictures look exactly the same. I could try to say that NASA is with that, it's getting over, but man, it looks exactly the same. Let's take a look at another video. The moon through a telescope. Nah, it's got to be something stronger than these. $149. World's sharpest Telslan moon 300 zooming in 4K. Same thing. And you could clearly see it's a ball. We'll have an episode coming up. Is the Earth flat or round? Well, if you look at all the other planets and the moon, you can see that's a ball. All we see is that face of it. It's the same thing. The only pictures that we do have of the moon and pictures we done took of it is the same thing we have of the Earth. I mean, it's not far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Just like I could try to debunk NASA and their pictures, but it's the same picture you would get if you had a microscope. Projectile to reach way out there to see that. Zoom in. If I had one, 300 other people had one. We'll all see the same thing. And that could be an experiment right there. If 300 people from around the world all was given a projectile 4K zoomed in, and everybody zoom in at the moon at the same time, I mean, around the same time or something like that, they all get the same thing. Will the moon be the same angle? Like, will it look and compare the pictures out? That would be a way right there. That way you can get all angles of the moon, all sides of it. Or will we look up and we'll all see the same side of the moon at all these different countries, all these different, you know what I mean? It's like we're seeing a picture of the moon up in the sky. Then too, let's take a look at some pictures of being on an airplane, taking a picture of the moon. If you in the sky and you can take a picture of the moon. Now, some would say, okay, this is fake. Who's to say this is fake? Everybody's thing says the same thing. And this guy's in Germany. This guy was filming this from Germany. We all seeing the same thing. Now this is supposed to be, I don't know if this is supposed to be video of somebody on the moon walking on it. And the watch is getting nicer.
So what
and
if
nicer.
I need a new policy? And what if it's confusing, like jazz, like Papa Jazz?
Good, Al. I'm starting the camera. Starting the camera. How much? 10 seconds to go.
You know, growing up, I never questioned Apollo 13 or, you know what I mean, watching the movie Apollo 13 and did people walk on the moon. I ain't questioning that. And like I say now,
Let's see LPD, babe. LPD, 41. Okay. Back. That is 41. Beautiful. Right out the window, just like ours. Great.
Terry Houston, here, go for landing.
Here we go.
does that look like plastic?
Thank you, Terry. 3,000. Okay, you're out of 3,000.
That look real?
Okay, what else is here?
All the other pictures we've been seeing, it looked like you can actually walk on there, and that was dirt. This, I don't know.
48.
This looks
Unclick that a little
weird.
fast. Unclick last. 2,050 feet a
That don't
second.
look like
A
no
little bit fast,
dirt.
but not bad. Okay. Outstanding. Okay. 1,500. Little fast. Not bad. Hold it in well. LPD 40, y'all. I just started using film now. Roger, you on 24? Well. Tell me when I hit the bottom step. In the bottom step. I'm on it. Yep. Oh, okay.
I don't know, man.
Look at this DLR cube. Yes. Okay. Give me a mark. Mark, it's running. Roger out. How's this, Bruce? Look okay? Roger, that's a good sight.
If the moon is fake, nobody can land on it, right? That's what we get into today. Is the moon fake? Could this happen? Is this real?
Off camera to the right.
Is this video real? Because this is supposed to debunk that right now. People landing on the moon. Okay, here's a video of it right here.
Okay,
Is this
that's good.
real? Or could you make this up? Is that even dirt? Okay, I just seen dirt move. Okay.
Take a picture this way and then we'll swing it around so they can see it on the television. All right. Okay, we can see it.
Now we're gonna go to pictures of the moon and we'll see if there's a flag on there. And if it looks exactly like this.
There we go.
Stunting. Go to another planet and take pictures.
I think I'm still too close to you.
Here, post up on another nigga planet. Throw up the deuce. Take pictures. Yeah. We'll post it on another boy planet.
Flop it around so they can see a little
Here,
better.
you want one? Go and get you one too.
Okay, and which magazine are you using?
Funny looking ass camera.
On Hasselblad? Indianapolis, Indiana. Roger, Indianapolis, Indiana, but that was my line.
Gotta watch it. Ain't no gravity. You may just float off.
What's your TV cable? Thank you. Yes, man, cable both. Got them both.
I don't know, man. What's stopping that flag from floating off? What's stopping them from floating off?
You're clear. Okay.
And just how cold is it up there? And is the moon standing still?
Ready?
If the Earth is spinning all the time, right, and we steady moving at a motion,
Got it.
because it's known if the Earth was standing still, it wouldn't work, and we would.
Orientation for the flag. Okay, Ed, if you just turn it broadside.
It would just be a lot of shit, man. The Earth, I don't know, it wouldn't. We have to be spinning. That's how we got the seasons, right?
The TV camera right that is 180 out from that.
Because if we were standing still, some parts would freeze up. Some parts would burn up because it's too close to the Earth, to the sun.
You got 2-5 on the mag. Copy out. Okay, that's good on the flag. Okay, Houston. Show 16. Nope. Okay. 16 is off.
After all these years, we got video of NASA
15.
and people being on the moon.
Point stage is set. Gas and engine is armed.
I ain't gonna lie, that flag did look different than this one right here.
4, 3, 2, 1. 0. We have ignition. What a lift off. And lift off. Roger, ignition. Boom. Switch over. 10 seconds.
The guidance, the onboard guidance has now taken over
baby.
control.
Still is good. We confirm auto ignition. That's affirmative, auto ignition.
And they're now tilting over at an angle, speeding up very quickly now.
Good. Here we're going across catch ball. Watch the ball. Steering looks good, Houston. Roger, you're
To
looking
be
good. Come
calling
down here. I'll be up on 1 minute.
the moon fake and to be saying all this is fake, Earth flat, that would be saying the people that lost their lives trying to go to the moon. I would also be saying that them people are real. They never died. They faked their death.
623.
The astronauts that did go to the moon,
Okay,
if they never went to the
Houston.
moon, I mean, they never put on the suits. They never got in the rocket. They never got, they never
At this
done
point,
it.
in effect, they're on their backs, aren't they? They're no longer vertical relative to the moon.
542-931-3. Targeting is still good.
This is when they really need confidence in that computer.
And we did have that spurious abort signal during the landing phase, don't
How can we prove that? How can you prove that? NASA. What? Y'all playing? No, I know I didn't see what I just thought I seen. See, they playing. I just said NASA. They keep saying Nas. Come on now. NASA 1.76 million. Okay. Wait. NASA has estimated net worth of 1 trillion of 2022. Oh, it's got to be very rich. But is it a scam? That's the question. A lot of people visit NASA every year. Is that baby a scam? Is that mug getting over on people? I've been to NASA. Nice. I enjoyed myself. I think it's legit. Ain't gonna lie, but my mind's starting to wonder now. What if? What if? What if they've been getting over? What if NASA's a big scam? What if the moon is fake? You can't land on that. There's no way you can make it up there. Just wanted to look into some things. Now, let me get back to. I don't know what this computer's doing. This mug is tripping. Um, hell, Hmm. What y'all think? Y'all think NASA been cheating people? I think the moon is or no? People actually don't walked on the moon. We got it's legit. What y'all think? Maybe there's not enough evidence to prove otherwise. So therefore, can't really say nothing. Same pictures NASA has up. You go out and go get you a $5,000 telescope and look up in the sky, and you see the same pictures that NASA has. So it ain't really too much you can't really, you can't say nothing. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. This looks crazy. It looks crazy. Nah, that ain't no dang moon, man. All this is look at this. Y'all stop that, man. I ain't never seen that. I always wonder what this is, those little black spots on the moon. And it seems like every time I look at the moon, it's always the same. The black spots is in the same spot, which makes me think, okay, the moon is not moving. But it is moving. I've been noticing the moon a lot lately. I've been staring up at them and I noticed like at first like around 8, 9 o'clock, it's like orange. It's very orange and it's big. Orange and it's big, you know what I'm saying, in the sky. It's huge as hell and it's low. You know what I'm saying? Then it starts to rise and it gets white. It gets whiter the more it rises up and it gets smaller. So around 11, 12 o'clock, it's up in the sky. It's real high now, higher in the sky, and it's white. The orange color goes away, and that tells me that it's getting cold. And by the time 11 o'clock comes, it's cold. You know what I'm saying? And it's warm uh during the day. Like it's sitting low and it's about closer to the sun, so it's heated up. That's what makes the orange color on it. Either that or it's reflected off the sun before the sun hits to the other side of the sky. But the moon is definitely up there freezing. That's why it's probably, you know what I mean, it's white when you look up in the sky, especially at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so it's got to be a certain time you can even go to the moon. If you go to the moon at, wrong time, the motherfucker burning up, you won't be able to land on it. And then there's a point in time where it's so cold up there, I don't see how you wouldn't turn into just a block of ice and just be floating in fucking space because it's so cold up there. And it's like with the I don't know, the gravity in the atmosphere up there, I just imagine it's so cold, man. I don't see how you wouldn't freeze even if you in a suit. It just I don't know. We have the sun down here that warms us up. Um Other than that, I don't see how it's not like a freaking glacier. Other questions about the moon? Cause it's hollow. That's just hell. That's just I don't know. Motherfucker to be starting shit just saying shit to start shit. Is the moon an artificial satellite? Hmm. What is the moon's purpose? You know what I mean? Like artificial moon. That's what me going to say. Like, is it real? Artificial moon is keeping us in a matrix. Why would it be an artificial moon? Let's question that. Hmm. See what happens when you pull up fake moon. China wants to launch fake moon into the sky. Oh, they tripping. Was the moon landing fake? That's the thing. Was the moon landing fake? Who started it? That's what I say now. This could be something to, make money off of. Next thing you know, hey, buy my merch. The moon landing was fake. And my thing is, if the moon is fake, of course you won't be able to land on it. But is this all money consuming? That's my thing, like, too. It could go either way. You saying that the landing on the moon is fake, but starting up something saying it is fake is also, you know, that's the thing about these conspiracy theorists. They could say, "Oh no, y'all didn't land on the moon." Um, believe me, they didn't land on the moon. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. This is like this. Oh yeah, buy my merch. You see, that just goes to show how you can Photoshop a video, make a person say whatever off of previous videos that they have. That's why it's hard for me to believe stuff that I see nowadays through video, whatever. So, I mean, you look at that video of them on the moon from 50 years ago, the Photoshopness and all that stuff wasn't like that like it is now. Nowadays, if somebody said they was on the moon, they was nah, man, I'm not believing that mess. But 1950s is a little different. Yeah, yeah, I had the yeah, ain't no telling how many videos that you see don't be real. You can see a person lip moving. That's not really what they said. This should open up some eyes right here. That don't believe everything you see. Just believe everything you don't believe everything you see, but believe everything you hear. And I don't know. Don't believe everything you hear. Believe what you see with your own eyes. But now it's like it should be fake as hell. Photoshop is on another level. That's what I be saying. And it's hard to believe anything, especially like I tried to get the conspiracy theories benefits of the doubt, man, but it's like sometimes they get it out of control, get carried away with it. You think of 10 different things a day that could be a conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm listening to some of these, bro. Out of 10 things, mess around, three of them don't be real. You know what I'm saying? Seven, okay, you got a point there. Oh, that sounds good. But sometimes a few of them be like, "Nah, you reaching now." You see what I'm saying? And I get it. It had your brain thinking, but some of this stuff don't be sucked in. It could be a brainwashing thing too, man. You know what I mean? And it's like some motherfuckers be brainwashed with some shit, and it's like, "Oh, you don't believe that? Oh, I believe it. You should believe it too." No, bro. Like, believe what you want to believe. That's more of a brainwashing technique when you try to get other people to believe it too. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. We are, like I say, we all human beings. We ain't robots. We all don't think and talk the same. You know what I'm saying? We all different. I thought when I was gonna have kids, that my kids would be the same. No, I got 3 girls. They totally different personalities. You know what I'm saying? Huh, fooled me. I'm thinking you had kids, but they all finna be the same way. Nah, I couldn't even see it. I thought that was real, but that just goes to show. That just goes to show how they'll get you. And you know, I don't even think y'all seen that. Uh,
and for political campaigns.
Don't believe
Luckily,
everything you
nobody's going to
see.
do it to me, Janella, because I do a fine job of putting my own foot in my mouth without any
They don't need
big
it.
videos.
Okay, just quickly before we run out of time, let's talk about this story, which centers around the U.S. president.
Yeah, it talks fake news, not
Yeah.
fake speeches. But anyways, the odds, the gambling odds are quick.
I bet you whoever started the moon landing hoax conspiracy theory, probably rich by now. That's the thing. If you could start something and um, turn people thinking caps on,
No way. That's great.
Yes, we landed on the moon, but it's been 45 years since we've been back there. Heck, it's been even 45 years since we went beyond low Earth orbit.
And when I say we, I mean the United States. Only 12 humans have ever walked on the surface of the moon, all of them men, and all of them American. The last two to be there were Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt. That was in December of 1972 of the Apollo 17 mission.
For more about the moon landings, check out this video by the legendary Keith Hughes. Keith Hughes has been making history videos on YouTube longer than just about anybody, and they are all high quality. So while you're over there, be sure to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to his channel. Now, the moon landings. Apparently, we never landed on the moon. It was all just a hoax. At least that's what a lot of people think, okay? One survey last year in the United Kingdom, it said that 52% of people thought the moon landings were faked. That's pretty high, and I know that's just one survey, and it's not a very good sample size, but still, a lot of people out there don't think the moon landings.
think for yourself though. Think for yourself though. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think somebody landed on the moon? I'd have to go back and say, like, hey, I've been to NASA. It all goes to NASA. Do I believe NASA or not? You know what I'm saying? And until I hear otherwise or somebody prove me wrong, I'm going to go with NASA and they legit. And I believe what they say. I believe they photos. They say that, they had some people go up there. I don't think they lying.
really happened.
It's easy to understand why people would be skeptical. Skeptics often point to the motive for wanting to fake the whole thing. The race to the moon was part of the space race during a particularly tense time during the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were battling it out to get there first. Skeptics say the United States would have wanted to fake it to show they won the space race even.
Also, yeah, that's the thing. I asked, like, how do you know? Why would they fake like they've been there? For one, you can ask for money. You can make a museum of it. Also, you could say you're the first country that did it. They were fighting with Russia to see who could go there first. But my thing with Russia is, why ain't y'all proved us wrong? And why ain't y'all went up there and just to prove that also?
Even if they knew it actually wasn't possible to go. The Soviet Union had epically failed to ever get even near the moon. So they argue it seems a bit suspicious that the United States was able to land men safely on the moon 6 times in 3.5 years, yet never do so since. Was this just a publicity stunt? Faked in order to strongly discourage the Soviet Union and give the United States a huge advantage in the Cold War while saving lots of money? But how could this hoax be pulled off? Skeptics argue the technology did exist to recreate a fake moon landing in a film studio. Sure, they argue the astronauts really did take off into space, but they likely just orbited the Earth for several days before landing back on Earth, while faked footage was distributed to the masses.
But what evidence do we have that the moon landings were faked? For the rest of this video, I will give you the evidence that creates doubt. I will give you NASA's response to that. And then I will give you my conclusion.
The first thing that causes doubt is the footage showing the American flag on the moon waving. Skeptics say the flag waving shows the presence of wind, which should be impossible on the moon because it doesn't have much of an atmosphere and is surrounded by a vacuum. NASA insists that the flag moved due to astronaut Buzz Aldrin twisting the flagpole, causing it to move like that. Apparently, the astronauts also accidentally bent the horizontal rods that were supposed to hold the flag outward.
My take? I give NASA the benefit of the doubt here.
The next evidence that causes doubt is the fact that there were no stars in any of the footage or photographs taken by NASA on the moon. Skeptics say stars were left out because astronomers would have been able to use them to determine whether the photos were taken from the Earth or moon. NASA, as well as many others, argue that of course you wouldn't be able to see the stars because the moon's surface is so bright. It's the same reason why you can't see the stars standing on a bright football field at night. Some astronauts were able to take long exposure UV photographs of bright stars and Venus from the moon, though, but skeptics would probably argue these photos were taken from Earth.
My take? I'm again going to go with NASA on this one.
What about the fact that there was no blast crater from the lunar module on the moon, especially when scientists before predicted one would be created? Well, NASA says those scientists predicted wrong. The fact is, the pressure on the moon was simply too low for the lunar module to create a crater.
Again, NASA for the win on this one.
Quite a bit of discussion by skeptics revolve around the discussion of lighting and shadows in photographs taken on the moon. Shadows are inconsistent and often intersect in photographs. Skeptics argue that the shadows should be completely black and run parallel to each other. NASA and others argue that the shadows are weird on the moon due to many light sources and lunar dust. Also, the unique terrain of the moon alters how the shadows are seen.
I can definitely understand the skepticism on this one, but again, I'm going to give NASA the benefit of the doubt.
Skeptics also say the photographs on the moon show the same exact background, despite astronauts saying the photos were taken far away from each other. They argue that the backdrop was basically kept the same.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. If NASA is getting over on people, they got over on me. They got, they got me to see things that I'm blinded by. Let me say they did a damn good job, and goddamn, keep up the good work, because hell, I don't give a fuck. It sounds good, you know what I mean? And so I'm gonna go off that. It looks good, it sounds good. So hey, no sweat off my back. That's what I'm gonna go off of.
Even for different Apollo missions. Take these photographs, for example. Skeptics have combined the two pictures and claim the backgrounds match. Kind of. Well, NASA says that because the moon is much smaller than Earth, horizons appear closer to the naked eye than they really are, and thus may look identical from different viewpoints.
I don't know. This one is definitely suspicious. I'm a little bit skeptical on this one.
Other skeptics point to the massive radiation found in the Van Allen radiation belt and just the radiation in general out in space. They argue that the inevitably prolonged radiation exposure would have made it impossible for astronauts to go to the moon. NASA says the astronauts in the Apollo spacecrafts were only in the Van Allen radiation belt for a little over an hour and a half at most, and that their spacecraft had aluminum protection from the radiation. Okay, so say they really did go to the moon, but the film was destroyed by all the radiation, so they had to refilm it on a Hollywood set. Well, NASA says the film was kept in metal containers that protected it from radiation as well. Well, what about solar flares on the surface of the moon? NASA admits that could be a potential threat since the moon has no atmosphere, but no solar flares were recorded during any of the Apollo missions, luckily.
Yeah, these concerns have merit. I can see them actually landing on the moon, but then filming and then having all the footage destroyed, and then they have to go back and actually fake the footage, even though they really did go. I don't know. That makes sense to me.
Now wait just a second. Supposedly, there is still stuff on the moon that the astronauts would have left behind. If we can just show those, we can put this whole debate to rest. Well, skeptics argue that if we have instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope, which can see way off into the universe, why can't we use it to see various objects still on the moon? NASA doesn't want to do this. So skeptics are like, see, if you got nothing to hide, you would. NASA argues that no telescope in existence can show these objects in detail. The smallest thing you can currently see on the moon from our most powerful telescope would have to be bigger than a house. NASA says, why would we waste our time when nothing would show up anyway? Still, in 2009, NASA sent its Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, a robotic spacecraft that has been orbiting and mapping nearly all of the moon's surface. It released these photos, saying, see, there's all the stuff left by the Apollo missions. But these haven't convinced skeptics much because you can't make out many details with these. Plus, NASA released them, and they could have photoshopped them, man. Other countries have also confirmed the moon landings with photographs of their own, although China never released theirs.
My take, there is plenty of third-party evidence that verifies that we landed on the moon. It would have to be quite the conspiracy involving tens of thousands of people all around the world to pull this off. It's unfortunate that the photographs that we do have are not that detailed, but in the Photoshop era, I don't know if it would really even matter if they were detailed. People wouldn't believe it anyway. I still lean towards NASA on this one.
Skeptics point out how the footprints in the moon dust are suspiciously well preserved, despite no moisture on the moon. NASA argued that moon dust is not weathered, so it would stick together like that. This theory ended up being debunked on an episode of the show Mythbusters. By the way, that episode also debunked claims that the photos and film were faked and debunked claims that the American flag on the moon couldn't move like that.
There are other pieces of evidence that skeptics point to, but frankly, I'm not going to bring those up because they're just not that convincing to me. The fact of the matter is, we will know for sure in the near future whether or not we actually landed on the moon. The reason why is because you have billionaires like Elon Musk and his forward-thinking company SpaceX that plan on actually going to the moon within a few years. NASA plans annual flights to the moon's orbit by the year 2023. So in my opinion, yes.
We landed on the moon!
There's just too much third-party evidence for the moon landings. But I totally understand why people are skeptical. The motives are there. Hopefully, in the near future, we will get definitive proof that we did land on the moon.
We will.
But people probably still won't believe.
We will. And there will still be people saying that it's fake. But let me also tell you this, man.
A special thanks
Believe in
to
what
Keith
you want to
Hughes for
believe.
collaborating with me on this project. Believe it or not, this is the first time we have ever collaborated on YouTube. Well, like,
believe what you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be a lot of people sounding good. You know what I mean? Sounds good, looks good. But hey, believe what you want to believe, man. You know, I say it, I can't stress that enough, man. We ain't robots. We all got our own minds, and don't, believe in something just because somebody else say it's the thing to believe in. You know what I mean? I'm like this guy. I haven't had enough. There's not enough evidence that tells me otherwise. NASA is been here for all these years, and you can have a group of conspiracy theorists, or some people who want to go against the grain and not believe what they've been told and think that they've been lied to their whole life. And with that means everything is a lie. You know what I mean? And I get it, but if there's not enough evidence that tells me otherwise and it makes sense on what I've been believing all this time, I'm finna keep going off of that. And until otherwise, you know, that's just what that is. But I know one thing, it's a lot of people getting fucking paid, getting getting exposure, getting popular, getting bread, getting money off of telling lies. Not so much telling lies, but misleading people into believe stuff that's not true. And it could be a conspiracy, but it's not true. At the end of the day, it's not true. And if you can't prove it, then it's not true. You know what I'm saying? And it be people making, flat out money off of this. That's what I be talking about. Watch you gotta watch the scammers, the conspiracy theory scammers. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this comes all back to. Debunking conspiracy theories. Who's trying to make money? Who's actually trying to, put some shit, how you thinking, man? Some shit that you actually could be a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Because the conspiracies are real. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are true. Time tells. But there are some that are just totally fake. You know what I mean? And things to make money off of. And this episode 2 right now is the moon real, NASA. I can't agree with the conspiracy theorists on that. You know what I'm saying? You need more people. I need more evidence. I need more. You know what I mean? But this is episode 2. Episode 3, I will be coming right back to you with. It is probably gonna be on flat earth, round earth, segueing into this. The moon fake. Episode 3 probably is the earth flat or round. Thank you for watching. Smooth, appreciate you. 702 Smooth, I appreciate you for stopping through, man. I don't see how you can land on Mars either, man. It's totally like it's way too hot up there to land on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then who's to say it ain't got no like how it has the Earth's core? Who's to say the Mars ain't got no core? And I'm pretty sure that it's burning. But yeah, episode 3, man, flat Earth, round Earth. It's a lot of talk about then. And this is all about debunking it, man. You know what I'm saying? The flat Earth theory. Is this legit? Is this just something to make money off of? We're gonna get into it. This is my Southern opinion, man. I appreciate you for watching.